How much does Kickstarter charge and what are the fees you'll pay as a creator? In this rapid fire video, I'll answer those questions plus point out some sneaky, often hidden fees that you need to know before launching. And I'll be giving away the audiobook version of my book crowdfunded for free, but you gotta stay till the end. All right, let's dive in. So what are Kickstarter's fees? Well, their fee structure is actually pretty straightforward. There are two main fees that you'll pay as a creator. First, there's the platform fee. This is a flat 5% fee charged on the total amount you raise. So if you raise $10,000, Kickstarter takes $500 right off the top, and that's non-negotiable. So don't go trying to do a deal with Kickstarter to get that fee lower. Second, you've got payment processing fees. For pledges over $10, you'll be charged 3% plus 20 cents per transaction. For smaller pledges under $10, it's 5% plus 5 cents per transaction instead. So again, let's say you raise $10,000 from 100 backers. Your payment processing fees would be $10,000 times the 3% processing fee, which equals $300, and 100 backers times the 20 cents transaction fee, which equals $20. So in total, counting the platform fee and the payment processing fees, in this example, you'd pay $820 on $10,000 raised, or 8.2%. But when do you pay those fees? Well, Kickstarter has an all or nothing model, meaning backers are not charged unless your campaign hits its goal. And even then, their cards aren't charged until the very end of the campaign. So if you don't hit your campaign goal by the time your campaign ends, your backers are not charged and you owe nothing to Kickstarter. When does Kickstarter pay you might ask? Well, once your campaign successfully ends, Kickstarter takes up to 14 days to process payments from backers. This gives them time to handle any failed payments and lets backers update their payment info if needed. After that 14-day processing window, Kickstarter deducts their fees and transfers your funds to your linked bank account. Depending on your bank, this transfer can take an additional 3 to 5 business days to show up in your account. So plan for about 3 weeks total from campaign end to actually having your money in hand. Here's the first sneaky cost that catches a lot of creators off guard: dropped pledges. Because Kickstarter doesn't charge backers payment cards until the campaign ends, there are always a portion of your backers whose payments fail. This could be because of expired credit cards, insufficient funds, or fraud protection from their banks. And if this happens, they do have 7 days to update their card in Kickstarter, but if they don't, they will become a dropped pledge, meaning you do not get their money and you don't have to deliver them a reward. It's typical to see 3 to 5% of pledges drop, so you want to budget that in. And if you're counting on every dollar to hit your production targets, these drop pledges can mess with your plans if not accounted for. My recommendations: first, budget for it. And second, send reminder messages to backers whose credit cards fail that they have to update their card. This extra push usually gets a good amount of them to update their payment cards. In general, funds raised on Kickstarter are considered taxable income. Yep, the IRS wants their cut of your crowdfunding success. But it does get a little bit more complex. You may also need to deal with sales tax or VAT if you're shipping physical products as rewards. This is especially true if you're shipping to backers in the EU, where VAT regulations are strict. Here's what Kickstarter does to help. They operate as a marketplace facilitator and collect sales tax for items shipped to all 50 US states. They also collect VAT on items shipped to backers in the EU and the UK through their pledge manager. With all that said, you're still responsible for understanding your tax obligations. Kickstarter highly recommends talking to an accountant or tax advisor to make sure you're compliant with tax regulations. And keep detailed records of your project's finances. You'll need to report this information when you file taxes. The third hidden cost is shipping, and this one can be a real budget killer if you're not careful. While not technically a Kickstarter fee, shipping costs come straight out of your funds raised, and they can add up fast, especially for international backers. Domestic shipping is predictable enough, but international shipping is where things can get really expensive. You got the customs fees, VAT, additional carrier charges, and it all just adds up. So my recommendations are to use Kickstarter's Pledge Manager to collect shipping costs after your campaign. Don't try to estimate shipping during your campaign and bake it into your pledge levels. This can be a recipe for disaster when creators often ship their products 6 to 12 months after the campaign ends. The Pledge Manager lets you collect exact shipping costs based on each backer's location and their specific reward. It's way more accurate and it saves you from eating unexpected shipping costs. Plus, the Pledge Manager can handle tax collection for you, which makes your whole life a whole lot easier. Now you know exactly how much Kickstarter charges. The platform fee is 5%, payment processing runs about 3% plus transaction fees, and you need to plan for drop pledges, taxes, and shipping costs. But if you want to go even deeper into all things Kickstarter and crowdfunding, you can get a free audiobook of my best-selling book, Crowdfunded. Just click the link below and tell me where to send it. Also, if you got any value from this video, click that like button and save it, and subscribe for more stuff like this. I'll see you in the next one.